Hello and welcome to Yerushalmi Berachos. We are on Daf Nun Beis, and for those of you in the Ozo Header print, for those of you that are with us, you should know that we are Be'ezras Hashem right smack in the middle of Maseches Berachos. So keep up the good work. You're at the 50% mark, and you are learning Yerushalmi, and it's an amazing thing. I want to leave off with one quick ha'ara, and then two broad ones, one historical, and then the other one just general on the parak, as we're finishing up the fourth parak of Berachos, which is about Shemona Esrei. So the Gemara says that the halacha follows Rabbi Gamliel, and there's a whole machlokas here whether a person could be yotzei with a chazan, musaf, kiyadua, it's in the Bavli, in Rosh Hashanah, etc. And the Gemara says, what's its proof that this is true? There's a whole story, but just keep in mind, look at the words. Dinachsinan me'arvoi lahacha. The Westerners, those living in Eretz Yisrael, came down here to Bavel. There was a lot of travel, remember, going on, and they were learning the Talmud Yerushalmi indirectly. V'amrinam b'shem Rav Yochanan, and they're quoting Rav Yochanan, who was the Morid de Eretz Yisrael. What his opinion is that the halacha follows this opinion, and so Rav Zera brings a raya that the halacha is like Rabbi Gamliel, and he says all the Tanaim teach Rabbi Gamliel, and Rav Hoshia Tani la b'shem Chacham. He quotes it as if the Chachamim say, meaning he's giving it more credence. It's not just the Das Yachid of Rabbi Gamliel's opinion, but he's giving it more credence. See, getting in the Bavli, Daf, Chafam, and Aleph, same exact concept. But what do we see? We see that when we want to make it look like, even though he's a Yachid, and you might say, well, why are you following a Yachid? We call him by a Rabim. And the Aruch HaShulchan does this a lot, and many other Mefarshim do as well. But whenever he discusses, he says, Rabbeinu Bali HaShulchan Aruch. Now, on the one hand, he is referring to the collective Shulchan Aruch, which is the Ramah and the Beis Yosef as well, and that's part of it. And right, he's going with the opinion as well that the Shulchan Aruch is coming off of that power, and also that if the Ramah doesn't argue with the Beis Yosef, then he l'chora, his silence shows that he agrees. So therefore, that's Rabbeinu. But sometimes he's literally just quoting one opinion. But that is the point. It is Rabbeinu. That this is our Masorah. If this is our psak, that how we follow, then it becomes like a Rabim, and that's an important thing to keep in mind. Okay, one quick historical thing is that if you take a look at the Stei Chamed, so he has a whole marechas on Yerushalmi. And over there, he mentions a lot of different things that I just want to kind of swing back to. So one of his marechas in Marechas HaPoskim is he talks about the derech of the Rif and the Rush. He talks about Rashi, for example. The famous question is Rashi a posek, and he brings down many people that say he's not, but Rashi is the one who's explaining the pshat. So how could you say that about him? But there's a lot of interesting things about Shitas Rashi, that Rashi is explaining the blot in front of us. So it's interesting. Can you be mitzaref him for la halacha? Rashi, has svarim written by his talmidim that clearly are halacha. So anyway, Ayin Sham, there's some very interesting things. But one of the things that the Stei Chamed brings down is a whole list of when do you follow the Yerushalmi versus the Bavli. And I hope that you've seen some of the things that we've discussed. For example, this shaila about forgetting that you already davened and then catching yourself, where the Bavli just says one opinion and the Shulchan Aruch follows that one opinion, which is that you stop immediately, which is halacha l'maisa. But you have a Das Yachid in the Yerushalmi that says explicitly that you can continue even though you started as a chova, which is just interesting. You see these things, so it's very important if learning halacha and learning just different shitas to see things that are in Bavli and Yerushalmi. There was one thing that I also saw brought down. Right, there's a machlokas. There's a das yachid in the Rishonim brought down in the Rif in Berachos Daf Chaf Aleph, that if a person started saying Atachon Elam Das on Shabbos, which is the wrong Shemona Esrei because he should be davening a short, that only that bracha does he continue it. But if he goes to the next bracha or he catches himself in Rifa'inu, you stop immediately. Now we don't paskin that way. We paskin like the Bavli. The Bavli says that that for Shabbos he was mechuyev in. Even though the Yerushalmi also says this as far as well, for Shabbos he really was mechuyev in the Shemona Esrei, but we cut it down not to be matriachim. So, but it's fascinating when you find a das yachid, etc. Even that one that I just brought down. Sorry that I'm not going in order here. What I just brought down, b'shem the Yerushalmi here about catching yourself in the middle of Shemona Esrei. The Rashba in Berachos actually brings it down la halacha and says that he paskins like the Yerushalmi that it's fine to switch from a chova into an adava in the middle of Shemona Esrei. Anyway, the last thing I want to leave off is a thought that I shared this with my daughter, and she said it was a very beautiful thought, and it's something about Shemona Esrei. We know that in the Bavli and Yerushalmi, there's this machlokas, whether there's 17 brachas and 18, whether they added this extra one of Lo Malshinim, right? Which is historically we know, by the way, that it was added. I haven't gotten to my ha'ara yet. There's really let's say about there's really 18 brachos for Shemona Esrei, according to some ways of reading the Yerushalmi. 17 because we talked about there's really a combination of a few of them that are put together. But and the Shemona Esrei that we daven, that we have in front of us, is actually 19 brachos. So the question is, why is it called Shemona Esrei? So you're going to say it's Meramis to the original Shemona Esrei, but just change it. It's for centuries. It's been 19. So what's the significance of 18? Now, the bracha of the Malshinim was actually added in the time when the Christians were rampant and taking over the world. Remember, they're about a third of the world as far as world religion. So every 3 people that you know that are not Jewish, are Christian. I forgot the exact number. Maybe it's like every 10 are Muslim. But and again, this is like worldwide. So it's very prevalent, and people have, that's their connection to God. Like the Rambam writes that the Gaim are familiar with the concept of Mashiach and a chosen one, etc. Anyway, so they added Lamalshinim actually to differentiate between who's Jewish and who is part outside of the realm of Judaism, because a lot of the Christian religion was very similar to the Jewish religion. Remember, it was started by Yeshua Notzri, Jesus, who was Jewish, a Talmud of sorry, it slips my mind. At the end of the Gemara, at the end of Sota. So anyway, it says you shouldn't be docha your Talmud like. It slips my mind. Okay, so the point is that the Lamal Shinim was a bracha that was added to separate between the people that are from and the people that aren't. And the Gemara, the Bavli even says that if a chazan stops and can't say Lamal Shinim, we actually sit him down because we're afraid that maybe he was overtaken by what's it called, by that midah. So why don't we change the Shemona Esrei and call it Shiva Aser? So you might answer, according to the Yerushalmi, that there's only 17 and this is the 18, but it's shver because there might really be more. But anyway, according to the Bavli, certainly, where there's really 19 now, and according to our text, it's 19. So I told my daughter, what's the 19th bracha was added as Lamal Shinim. It was added to curse Jews that are pretending to be Jewish, but are really Christians. I said, we're never koveya that as a bracha. It's not something we want forever. That we look at other Jewish people and we say, Lamal Shinim al ti sikva. It pains us to say that. We never want to put that as part of the canon of davening, so to speak. So therefore, we show that we don't talk that way, that we want something bad, chas shalom, to happen to another Jew. We want them to do tshuva, right? Chola risha karega tovedu. We want the rishos to die, right? Yitamul chatam in Aretz. We want the sin to stop, like Gemara says in Berachos, Bavli, not the chotim themselves, right? So therefore, we always say it's Shemona Esrei, it's 18, because we're sad that we have to put in this 19th bracha and say that there are other Jews that want to hurt us and that are against us, and that we're davening to Hashem that He protect us from them and take care of them. And so that's what we daven, like I talked about. We open up our heart to our other fellow Yidden, and we open up our heart and our mind to accept them and to love them. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me through the 4th parak. As Hashem, tomorrow we will begin the 5th parak of Yerushalmi Berachos. Have a great day.